We running it. Run it down, baby. Run it down. We stacking these wins. Stack it, stack it, stack. Yeah. Rest in peace, Juice. Look what you did to my coat. Glock. Hey, your mama.
Some people need speed to feel calm. See, for some people, peace does not come from slowing down. It comes from finally being forced to focus. And that is what most people don't understand about racing. From the outside, it looks like chaos, danger, violence, adrenaline, a death wish. But from the inside, it can feel like one of the only places where your mind finally goes quiet. Because when you're flying into a corner at speed, life stops being about your inbox, your stress, your past, your future, and all the other invisible.
Pull yourself together and quit tripping, cause you in the process. God.
One of the biggest things I learned this year is let things be. Let people go. Don't chase answers. Don't fight for closure. And never expect an explanation. One of the biggest things. 911, what is your emergency? I hear shots! Okay.
Come on, baby. Strong finish.
Can't beat a man who smiles at pain. Because pain stopped being his enemy a long time ago. Life introduced them years ago. Betrayal.
At some point, everything's gonna go south on you. Everything's gonna go south, and you're gonna say,
To get anything of value, you have to sacrifice.
Have you, son? I got it.
That's a great number right there. 6,000. I'm in the top 10,000, which means I'm basically in the top. I'm in the top 10%. That is just, and the fastest dude's running. Jesus is running 150. Look at him fly. She. Everybody's running 911. Some people running that Huracan, that R8, BRZ, Supra. That's in that, but the Supra is in the bottom 700 though. So, or 100. Sorry, I don't know why I said 700, but. And 151 at the bottom of the top 100. So they're pretty fast, but I'm right there in the middle. But to be in the top 10% though, that is pretty good. Pretty good. I'm happy with that. Back to it. Back to it. Working. Oh, entry period is over. Bro, gotta wait. Gotta wait. 4 minutes. Oh, that sucks.
right track, bro. And you don't know how I know you're on the right track, and I can prove it to you. This video has no hashtags, this video has no caption, and you're literally watching videos like this. And I know it sounds plain and simple, but it sounds plain and simple until I tell you the average person that is your age right now not watching this type of content. If your For You page is filled with God, money, motivation, mindset, bro, you're going to get rich and successful, and you're going to be very successful. So you have to understand.
I haven't heard someone talk about it yet, but nobody talks about how ambitious people, and this is something I personally dealt with, have trouble falling asleep. Not because they're not tired or whatever, because there's something that
Fuck you. I'm gonna become every single thing that you think I would never become.
The truth is, if people really knew your story, all the things that you've been through, they'd probably wonder how on earth you're still smiling.
Work, 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 work. No results, but I'm a little bit better. Work, 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 work. Work, 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 work. No results, but I'm a little bit better. Work, 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 work. No results, I'm a little bit better. Work. Boom. Just got paid. You just got paid. And it looks like overnight success. Yeah. Work, 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 work. No results, but I'm a little bit better. Work, 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 work. Work.
Listen to me, this comeback has to be personal. This comeback has to mean everything to you. Your circle has to get smaller. Your focus has to be pinpoint, with a mind prepared for battle and a heart prepared for war. Because this comeback is not about getting to a place where you've already been. This comeback is about going to a place that you've never been before. I want you to get back up and give it everything you got started.
They never saw the lonely nights, the aching knees, the silent battles. But I kept going. I kept shooting. And I kept believing. Go harder than you did last year. Whatever you thought you did, it wasn't enough. Go harder, have that extra 2 meetings that day, and find a way to enjoy it. You go harder than you did last year.
You do realize that you have transformed and grown into a person that would have protected you as a child, right?
Yo, bro, before you scroll, I think you forgot something. You forgot who the fuck you are, bro. You got so caught up in other people's opinions and the way the world looks at you that you forgot what got you here in the first place. Forget everybody else, bro. Forget the crowd, forget the clubs, forget whatever it is. You have nobody to prove anything to except yourself. You don't have as much time as you think, bro. Before you go, let me show you something. You see this guy? Remember what he said. Nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. It's not about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. Keep moving forward, bro.
You're always afraid to take the first step because all you see is every negative thing 10 miles down the road. You can do anything you want. You are bound by nothing. What are you passionate about? What do you want? You're always afraid to take the first step because all you see is every negative thing 10 miles down the road. You can do anything you want. You are bound by nothing. What are you passionate about?
I want to be good. I gotta wake up in the morning and I gotta do the extra work. And I gotta show up when other guys aren't. And I've gotta learn. I've gotta continue to be open to learning. You know, I would complain all the time that the guys ahead of me were getting more opportunity than I was. There was a certain amount of repetitions in practice. The starter would get 20, the backup would get 10, and I would get 2. And I'd go in and I'd say, well, how can I ever get better? All these guys get all the reps and I only get 2. And he said, just go in there and focus with the 2 that you got and make them as perfect as you possibly can. So I said, okay. So that's what I did. They put me in for those 2. Man, I'd sprint in there like it was Super Bowl 49, and I did really well with those 2 because I brought enthusiasm, I brought some energy, and I had a little more confidence in myself. And it went from 2 reps to getting 4 reps because those 2 were pretty good. And before you knew it, through this new attitude, through this new shift that Greg had said to me, you know, focus on what you can control. Focus on what you're getting, not what anyone else is getting. Whenever you get an opportunity, take advantage of it. You treat it like it's the Super Bowl. You treat it like it's game day. Go out there and treat practice like no one else does. And I did that single day. And it was a lot. It was taxing on me. There was a lot of stress for me, even in high school. And I look back
presided over the little disciplines. And get right on those because those...
I feel like everybody dealt with me. I gotta win. Like, I gotta go for it all, bro. Like, I don't...
Put God first in everything you do. Everything that you think you see in me, everything that I've accomplished, everything that you think I have, and I have a few things, everything that I have is by the grace of God. Understand that. It's a gift. Put God first in everything you...
Always be a good person. Even if nothing comes back in return. Even if they don't care. Even if nobody is seeing it. Being kind is not a strategy. It's a decision. It's not about rewards or what you're getting back. It's about who you choose to be when no one else is watching. So stay kind, because that's something no one can take away from you.
Everybody that you fight is not your enemy, and everybody that helps you is not your friend. And that's what life taught me. Everybody that you fight is not your enemy, and everybody that helps you is not your friend. And that's what life taught me. Everybody...
This is something every guy...
Can he drive? Can he drive?
Drifting. Holy shit. Ugh. I don't know.
Always keep going. Always.
Oh, that sucks.
They say we only use a fraction
Damn.
of our true potential. Now, that's when we're...
What's up, buddy? Made it. Another day. One more down. You should be proud.
Heavenly Father, I come before you this morning with a grateful heart.
Louis.
Just outwork them, bro. Just outwork them. You don't need a better idea. You don't need rich parents. You don't need the network. You don't need connections. You just need to outwork every single fucking person. If you're putting in 3 times the volume than everybody else in your space, you will win just because you decided to do more and not stop. So keep showing up.
Man, most people don't want to be pushed that hard. They want to be pushed to their level of comfort. And then once they're outside their comfort zone, they're like, oh, I'm not used to this. Oh, I don't like this. My heart's beating too fast. Or, man, I'm feeling different feelings and emotions. And it's like, that's where the growth lives.
I'll tell you this. The man who's been humbled in private and rebuilt anyways moves way different than the man who never has. The man who's been...
You can become anything that is available on this earth. And it's like the pathway it's your mind. It's like, you absolutely have to educate your mind, and the recognition that the only limits are your thoughts.
Be proud of the nigga.
Don't ever let somebody tell you you can't do something. You got a dream, you got to protect it.
Enjoy the butterflies. Enjoy being late. Enjoy the nerves, the pressure. If you kind of want to stand on the top from day one, that's your call.
Stay focused. Don't listen to nobody. Don't listen to nobody, homie. What's on your mind, just do it. Because what's destined for you, you're going to get it. Stay focused.
When you pray for rain, you gotta deal with the mud too. Yo, every once in a while, I hope you look in the mirror and tell yourself, I'm proud of you.
Obsession's going to be talent every time. You got all the talent in the world, but are you obsessed? Is it all you ever think about? Let's face it, it's you against you out there. When you walk on that court, you have to think, I am the best guy out there. Obsession's gonna be talent every time.
I don't walk it out running. I fall like the Gt3. These bitches be coming. I fuck them until they be coming. Run up on me, chop a drum, and it ain't about nothing. I'm too busy making money. These niggas, they making assumptions. I know how they coming. Niggas talk.
People out there that are just working harder than everybody else, and they're gonna keep doing it.
Yeah.
And that's their grind. And those people are because they change everybody's perspective of like what's possible, what to strive for, and what it takes. Like, do you really want to be a champion? Why? Because you just want to be cool? You want to be the coolest guy in the block? Like, you're not gonna win. You're gonna find some fucking psychopath who just lives it. It's their whole life. And if it's not your whole life, get out. There's people out there that are.
As a man, I'm flesh and blood. I can be ignored. I can be destroyed. But as a symbol, I can be incorruptible. I can be everlasting. What's it? Something elemental, something terrifying. As a man, I'm flesh and blood. I can be ignored. I can be destroyed. But as a
15 minutes. This is crazy
there's something
work.
beautiful about
Rule number 21. Don't feel sad if someone ignores or rejects you. People usually ignore expensive things because they can't afford them. Rule number 21. Don't feel sad if someone ignores or rejects you. People usually ignore expensive things because they can't afford them. Rule number 21.
The ironic thing about life is that you are a different person to everyone you meet. To some, you're quiet. To others, you never stop talking.
People stare at you
because you have a powerful light and a strong aura. When you go outside, you've probably always been wondering, like, why are people staring at you? And if you were able to see in the spiritual realm and see the demons that other people are battling, you would also see that you have this bright light, and it makes people like lock onto you, and they don't even understand why they're looking at you. You'll have some people, like, as soon as you make the eye contact, they'll nervously look away. Then other people, they have no shame about staring at you. But also your aura is pretty strong, which makes you pretty magnetic. And not only are people staring at you, but like they will want to get around your energy. So all this to say that you are going to get stared at when you go outside, and it's not because like you got something on your face or that like you got something going on. It's just that you vibrate very high. People,
Fuck you. I'm gonna fail. I'm gonna fucking fail. I'm gonna fucking fail.
God does not tell you when he's going to give you the miracle or when you're going to walk into the purposes of God, because it wouldn't take faith. And he wants you to walk by faith and not by sight. So he's going to create environments where...
Well, let me be. So you can't really tell us nothing. You can keep your heart and stuff in your heart.
Boys talk, men act. Boys play, men build. Boys want power, men earn it. Boys demand respect, men command it. Boys fear pain, men endure it and transform pain into purpose. Boys talk.
Nigger.
You see, the underdog story is the realest story there is. Because when you come from nothing, you appreciate everything. You hustle different, you love different, and you lead different. So today, I want you to do 3 things. Stay humble. Never forget where you came from. Stay hungry. Keep that fire in your soul. And stay true. Always be real with yourself and the world. Because the world...
Go into the silence. Go and sit down quietly by yourself for 30 to 60 minutes. 30 to 60 minutes. Most people in our society have never sat quietly for 30 to 60 minutes in their entire lives. Yet I will tell you this method works 100% of the time. That any problem that you have, any difficulty, any challenge, any goal that you want to accomplish, if you'll go into the silence and sit quietly and then listen to the still small voice within, this is the key. You will find that at a certain point, probably at about 25 to 30 minutes, your mind will go completely clear, and then a flow of ideas will start to flow into your mind. You'll feel energy welling up inside you, and at a precise moment, as you sit there in complete silence, no cigarettes, no coffee, no music, nothing, just complete silence, at a particular moment, your mind will go clear, and wham, exactly the answer you need will come at exactly the right time. Go into the silence.
Alright, fam, don't you fucking scroll, dog. We're gonna take a moment to celebrate you, dog, and you need some fucking positive aggression in your life, homie. See, you don't even realize how fucking impressive you actually are, fam. You don't realize how smart, how intellectual, how passionate. You don't understand how impressive of a person you actually fucking are, homie. That's because you've been strong for so fucking long, fam, that this shit is just normal to you. You never had anyone compliment you or acknowledge your achievements. You never had anyone realize how strong of a person you actually are. The things that you go through all alone, and yet you still come out on the other side of it. Courageous, bro. Strong enough to still be there for other people, to be nice to other people, to uplift other people when you went through all of your darkest times by yourself. So you need someone in order to give you that positive aggression, fam, and that's why I'm here, bro. Because I know no one's ever told you these things before, dog. You're not...
Chosen ones do not play. Chosen ones are kind. I'm gonna start with the positive first, and that's what we'll get to. Chosen ones are diplomatic. We know how to de-escalate a situation. We are people who at times go above and beyond. Very tolerant, right? I mean, more so than the average person. Self-control, all of the above, home training, what mama told us, grandma, whatever you want to call it, right? We got all of that. But with all that comes this dark side people not ready for. Because I'll tell you one thing about people like us, people like me, people like you, we're kind, diplomatic, we do not play. Once you disrespect, after I've done all of that, oh, I know someone.
This is how I be driving everything off. Everything.
it's over. So
ABS
here, men and women,
default
do
though.
not play. Do not take a chosen man or woman's kindness for weakness. It is a gift. Hear me? And once you take that for weakness
Troy.
and use that person or disrespect them or disregard them, don't be surprised when you hit a footprints and they're gone. You will lose a good woman. You will lose a good man by taking them for granted. Stop taking good people for granted because a person's being nice to you. See it as a gift. It's not a weakness. They can switch gears on you and you won't know what you did. Chosen ones do not play. Chosen ones are kind.
There is no one like you. You know, one day you're gonna get that dream.
And then you're gonna realize it was never the money or the things. What made it worth it was the person you became along the way.
You know, one day you're gonna get that dream.
And then you're gonna...
If you start doing that,
That's it. I'm out of Red Bull.
Yeah, I don't know who you are. I don't know what kind of work you've been putting in. I don't know what bloodline you come from. You know what I'm saying? But your spirit team, your tribe, they stepping on shit. Oh yeah, your spirit team. Hey, listen, whoever play with you in this season, you ain't gotta do nothing. Like you are. Hey, may peace be upon you. That's what you need to tell them. Anybody that's playing with you in this season, just look at them, smile. May peace be upon you. Because your spiritual team, your ancestors, I know you can't see them, but when you walk, you got an army behind you, and they stepping on shit. Yeah, I don't know who you are.
You six of Pentecost energy, baby. Let's go. You ascended so ridiculously hard, and now they're looking at you like a superhuman being. They don't even think you're real. Literally, we know you're not from this planet. At least I do. I know you're secretly not a human being. You're secretly like some type of cosmic Milky Way supernova that is just waiting to blow up on reality and change the world for good.
He has this line, he says, "The best men have been broken." I asked him, "How can you tell?" He says, "There's just a look, twinkle in the eye. There's a kind of humility."
We had nobody anyway, motherfucker. Look around you. There was no fucking team. It was you.
1. Keep your fucking mouth shut. 2. Do not tell people your plans until they materialize. 3. Never expect to get what you give. 4.
Damn, you know, all the planes we flew, good things we been through, then I'll be standing right.
Discipline is your best friend. If you don't have many friends, you're not lonely, you're fucking powerful.
Peace up, A-Town.
You won't be
I just want to thank you for staying true.
You were not seeing this video by accident, but it is in God's perfect timing and perfect will that you're seeing this video exactly when you're seeing it. There is a direct attack on your life from the kingdom of hell. There's a specific role, assignment, purpose that God has given you to accomplish for the kingdom of heaven. He's given you vision. He's equipping you. He is setting things up right now in your...
You see, the more at peace you become, the less you tolerate chaos. You stop explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding.
Going once. Some people are just born to fight, I think. It's not...
There are going to be people in your life that tell you you need to be more realistic. It is very important. You don't listen to those people.
Nobody becomes great by working only on the days they feel like it. You're tired? Do it anyway. You're sore? Do it anyway. Bad weather? Do it anyway. Success comes when you stop giving yourself an excuse. Nobody becomes...
And listen, Chosen.
That's the hardest thing in the world. To get up every day and give 100% and be in the same position that you were each day, but mentally know that you're trying and trying and trying. That's a real grind. That's the hardest.
Notice how all the celebrities are losing their aura? It's because they built it on other people's. There's a new celebrity emerging onto the earth now, and that is one that is fully self-sustaining.
I think the most beautiful people inside and out are the ones who admire the world around them, the ones who notice the way the sky softens before sunset, who pause for a second to watch the rain hit the window.
Yo, in the Bible, it literally says if you continuously do good things, you will succeed. Galatians 6:9.
The chosen won't skip this. The Bible says...
The truth is, bro, you're going to win. It's not a maybe, it's not a hopefully, it's not a if things go right. You are going to win. Because if you have that vision, that picture inside your head that won't leave you alone, you already have the one thing that most people will never find. You already have the voice inside your head that keeps you up at night. That voice inside your head that gets you out of bed in the morning to go hit a lift at 6 a.m. when everybody around you is sleeping. That voice is the proof, and most people don't have that. And when you have that, losing isn't even on the table. It's not an option because you'll never stop long enough to lose. You'll keep adjusting.
You're gonna see this video right before you enter a winning stage of your life. You didn't find this by accident.
I don't quit. You know, I'm
Chosen.
It's not about who's the best. It's not about who's the most equipped with the best skill set and the best IQ. No. This is a marathon. You know what this is about? It's about endurance. It's about endurance. Who can last the longest? That's the game. That's the fucking game. How long can you suffer? It's not about who's the best. It's not about who's the most equipped with the best skill set and the best idea.
If you know a man who's still building while everyone around him is moving on.
When people hear good, the older you get, the more you choose calm over chaos and distance over disrespect. Drama becomes intolerable to you, and your peace becomes your ultimate priority. You start surrounding yourself with people who are good for your mental health, heart, and soul. The older you get, the more you...
If you don't fail, you're not even trying. I'll say it again. If you don't fail, you're not even trying. To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did. If you don't fail, you're not even trying. I'll say it again. If you don't fail, you're not even trying. To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did.
God is with you. God is for you. God sees you. God hears you. God knows you. God cares about you. God loves you. God is with you.
You know you vibrate high because empty places become crowded after you arrive.
Yup. Yup. Let me paint this picture. Yup. Yup. Let me paint this picture.
Here.